it's time for another episode of Fiction Fellowship. I just finished reading a book for the second time and I wanted to do a review on it. So last year I was looking on the Libby app for some books that we didn't have at the library, and I came across this book in the historical fiction section, and it is called Appalachian Song by Michelle Shocklee. I'd never heard of Michelle, and we didn't have any of the books at the library, so it's really sounded good, so I wanted to check it out, and I read it last year. Oh my gosh. This is a 5-star book in my opinion. I don't really rate books with 5 stars because not very many books get to me as much as this one did, but I read it and there were certain parts of the book that I just cried because it was so emotional, heartbreaking, and it really, really gets to you. So I wanted to read it again right now, and I did, and you are going to love it. So let me tell you a little bit about it. The setting is the Great Smoky Mountains in 1943, and 52-year-old Birdie hears a sound in the woods next to her house that she shares with her sisters, and it's way out in the country, and her and her sisters live in a really cool cabin, and they take care of themselves. They grow everything that they need on the ranch. And so her and her sisters hear gunshots in the woods, and they go out there and they see this 14-year-old girl laying on the ground, and she has a gunshot wound. And the Birdie can tell, because she's a midwife, she can tell that she is pregnant. And she's just a few months pregnant, but she can tell by the looks of her. And she's very scared and worried about why this girl is laying in the woods. So her and her sisters bring her back to the cabin, and they don't know anything about her. They've never seen her before, but they nurse her back to health. And all of a sudden, when the girl comes to, Birdie asks her, like, who are you? What's your name? What happened to you? And the girl is really worried about saying what happened to her and why she got in this predicament. But she doesn't tell her name. She just says that her mama used to call her Songbird because she loved to sing. So that is what she goes by, as Songbird. And so Songbird tells Birdie and her sisters what happened and why she has the gunshot wound. Her papa found out that she was pregnant, and he wanted her to abort the baby. He wanted her to take this like medicine concoction that would abort the baby. And Songbird said, no, I'm not going to do it. So he got very mad, and she ran out of the house, and he started chasing her, and he shot her, and she got away. And so that is why she has the gunshot wound. And she's terrified, that her papa's going to find her, and she's worried about the girls, the sisters, that her dad is going to find her and find them, and that there's going to be trouble. But Birdie says, don't worry. She says she's going to take care of Songbird, and so are the sisters, and she can give birth in the house because Birdie's a midwife and she's going to take care of her. So Birdie and Songbird create this really strong bond because Birdie doesn't have any children, and Songbird lost her mama when she was young. So a childless woman and a motherless girl, create this special bond. And later on in the story, Songbird has to make this heartbreaking decision that changes her life and Birdie's life forever. And then another part of the story, there's 2 timelines. So 30 years later, country singer Walker finds out that he was adopted, and his adoptive parents never told him anything, and he surprisingly is shocked that he is adopted. His dad had just passed away, and his adopted mom said, I have something to tell you. I should have told you a long time ago that you were adopted. And so he's very upset that she told him when he's 30 years old, and that she didn't tell him when he was younger. And so he's very upset, and he wants to find out why his birth mother and his birth father did this to him, why they gave him up for adoption, why they didn't want to keep him. And so he looks up this adoption advocate. Her name is Reese, and he asks her if she can help him find out what happened, what the true story was about his adoption. And she says, according to Tennessee legal laws, once the adoption has been settled, that you can't find out what happened, who the birth parents are, or anything. So she says, I will try to help you as much as I can and be there for you, but don't hold your breath. It might not happen. So they go on the journey to find out anything they can on his adoption, and they kind of butt heads at the beginning, but then they create a bond because they were both adopted. And that's all I'm going to tell you. You definitely have to read this book. It is a tearjerker, but it is so heartwarming. And after I read this the first time, I said I have to read other Michelle Shocklee books because she is so good. Like every word that she uses is so expressive. And I felt like I was right in the Smoky Mountains with Birdie and Songbird and the family, and everything. It was just incredible. You have to read this book. And so Appalachian Song is such an amazing book that you need to read. You will not regret it. And I really believe you're going to like all of her books. She just has a way with words, and she is just so heartfelt in all of her books. And I follow her on Instagram, and she is just so sweet, and she's always talking about her personal life and where she lives and everything, what she does besides writing books. And she is just an incredible author. So please read the book. You won't be disappointed.